Welcome to A Grain of Salt. We got another one coming at you. I'm Wild Bill. Here we go. How many of you understand and know that God is a God of ultimatum? What do I mean by that? Well, in the Old Testament, he made a statement. He said, "This day I set before you life and death. Choose life." Over in the New Testament, you get over into there, we see, and I'm sure there's other examples in the Old Testament, but the adventures of Moses at the foot of the mountain when I believe it was 21,000 died in one day. People made a choice. They had no choice but to make a choice. Over in the New Testament, we got Yeshua, who at the end of the Sermon on the Mount, he laid it out there. He said, two paths, two ways. One's broad way leads to destruction. One's narrow way that leads to life. Right? And on down in that chapter there, he says, for instance, you can build your house on the rock or you can build your house on the sand, right? And you can look those things up for yourself. I just want you to see that he's a God of ultimatum. And in saying that, we can see that those people in Hebrews chapter 11, they were people that understood that dearly, completely. It said all these died in faith, not having received the promises. They could see them afar off. And they confessed that they were strangers in a foreign land, exiles on the earth. Jesus made a statement in another place. He said, no man can serve two masters. You're going to love the one and hate the other. And this is real faith. The faith that was given to them is the same faith that is offered to us. And it's serious. It's not a plaything. You hear people say stuff like, you need to put your faith out there for that. What are they talking about? The things of the earth, the things that are below, the things of, I keep saying but do you know? Put your faith out there. And these people in the scriptures, the faith that was given to them to exercise was so real for something. And Hebrews and the rest of the scriptures explains that to us. It has to do with eternal life. It has to do with serious stuff. I am not saying that people shouldn't have stuff. I'm not saying and declaring that if you have some luxuries in your life that you shouldn't have that. No, I'm not saying that at all. Because I do believe that our Father does bless certain people with riches in this life. And I believe that those can be blessings to those people. It can become a curse if they begin to love those things. But they are blessed so that they can be blessed and be a blessing to other people. Absolutely, absolutely. But he does charge us to not trust in uncertain riches. Why are they uncertain? Because they come and they go. This world is very fickle. And things can come and go. Thieves can break in and steal, and that's why they can't be your treasures, your true treasures. But these people in Hebrews chapter 11, they've seen the ultimatum every second of every minute of every hour of every day of their lives. And they made their decision. They made their decision. And they lived by that conviction. Why? Because the substance in them was so strong. So strong. They seen those promises afar off. And it goes on to say there in Hebrews chapter 11, they confessed that they were strangers and exiles on the earth. They didn't set up shop here. They were looking for something else. What were they looking for? Those promises. We've discussed that at length in other videos, and it says those who say such things, that he's talking to us now. The writer of Hebrews in verse 14, he says, those who say such things as they did, which they admitted that they were exiles on the earth. They had not one part of their heart attached to anything here. They were looking for something better. And he's saying, the writer is saying to you and to me, that if we believe and say such things, not is your faith out there for a new car, a new house, a new, a swimming pool, stuff here. Is that where your faith is out there? You need to put your faith out there for that. How silly. But he's talking to us and he's saying, those who say such things, make it clear that they are seeking a country of their own. Do you identify with these people? That's the question, right? That's the ultimatum. These precious people talked about in Hebrews chapter 11. They were persecuted and they suffered. They experienced the things that Christ said was appointed to us. They suffered and they were in prison. They were cast out. They were murdered. Didn't Jesus say all that was going to happen to us? Family members being against you and walking against the grain of the world, even your own flesh. They were in prison, tortured, not accepting deliverance because they were looking for the better resurrection. Some people will never understand that. Never understand that. What substance these people had. Verse 39 says that that all these, having gained approval through their faith, did not receive what was promised, because God had provided for us something better, so that apart from us, they would not be made perfect. That means we all gonna get it on the same day. What? The promises. See, they're asleep. They have fallen asleep. The righteous dead are sleeping, and they will be resurrected, and we will be resurrected with them, and we will all receive at the same time the promises. Take all that with a grain of salt.